All right, we're here at Willinga at Juandah Plains Campdraft with our ADG contracting Maiden Campdraft judges, Ben Weller and Ben McNaughton. Guys, it's your first time judging here. What can you tell me about your first experience here at Juandah in the judges' seat?
It's all pretty good. Great setup, great line of cattle all week. No, it's second to none really.
Yeah, well, I think it's unbelievable. It's my first time here, and the surface is unreal. The cattle have been unreal, and yeah, it's been a pretty great event to be a part of.
Can you give me some insight into what the actual camp drafting has been like in the Maiden? We've had a few 90s, I believe, on the board so far. What have the cattle been like? How is judging in this arena different to judging in others?
It's probably the two-judge system. I think is pretty good for these bigger drafts. It sort of evens you out over the course of the event, especially judging from each side. I find you can miss something that the other fella doesn't see, and vice versa, and it evens out. It's really good, I think. The cattle have been probably a little bit come in stages. Like there's been a lot of scores all in a row, and then it cuts off for a bit. And then the quality of the maiden horses here is quite exceptional.
Yeah, no, a bit like Ben said, I think that the judging here with another judge, you see everything, and I think you make it right. Where when you're judging a weekend draft, it's a little bit different. But with the setup and everything that's here, it's just a great event to be part of. Yeah.
Any standout runs that you've seen so far that we can recap?
Probably one that stands out for me probably wasn't a great a fast run, but it's so neat of Luke McEwen's. It was all smooth, got everywhere where he needed to be, tightened his pegs up and just slotted it through, and I think he ended up with a 90 with that run. And it was, yeah, I thought it was a good run.
Ben, any for you?
Yeah, I think the run that stood out for me was John Templeton's run. I think he's leading it after the first few stages of the draft.
90 and a half, I think he had, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just a great little mare that she was pretty good everywhere she went. So.
What do you guys think is, I guess, the most important thing that you look for in a camp draft? I know every judge often has different styles. Obviously, it's all still judged on the same point system, but where do you give points where someone else may not look in that same area?
I like them to take ground off the beast, always shortening them up around the pegs and taking the fastest track to the gate. There's nothing better than that, and it's fast round and should be paid because it's because you're taking all the risks, I believe.
Yeah, for me, I think I like to see a horse control the beast, especially in a maiden draft. Not necessarily the most aggressive horse, but I like a horse to see a horse with expression, and whether that is watching a cow taking control of it at the front of the yard and outside. Yeah.
Can you explain to someone that may not know a lot about camp drafting how the camp works? So where your points come from in the camp, what you're looking for to get those points?
In the camp, probably just a clean cut, showing intent on putting them to the front, putting your horse where it needs to be, and applying a bit of pressure and enough turns, and yeah, that's the main thing, is controlling your beast in the yard so you can put it round outside.
Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of people here that vary from horses that were in the cutting pen to big, tall stock horses. Do you think there's a lot of difference in where the points come from in those two different styles of horses working? There
is a bit, but a lot of it is how the jockey actually positions them.
Yep.
I notice, like with the stock horses and that, they'll tend to creep forward and that a bit, but it's how they hold them and how they fling them back across and can hit their ends and block and go again, whereas the quarter horses are probably a bit more protective and can get back and around and drive them out, and yeah, it's pretty good to watch a good horse in any breed.
Yeah. Benno, what about the horsework section Obviously, we've touched on that speed is very important and tightening those pegs up, but for someone that doesn't know a lot about camp drafting, how do you explain where the points come from out there?
Yeah, well, like Ben said, the points come from speed, and control's another biggest thing. With a horse, it's very hard to, and people that don't do it don't understand how hard and how long it takes to get a horse to be solid at what we do, and it takes years to get him right, and then feels like he's nearly too old by the time you get him right. So.
Well, we're very appreciative that you guys both made the trip this year. I'm very fortunate to have sat down and talked to you both, and we wish you the best of luck in the other events that you're actually competing in this year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tyler.